Financial quantum locks. The hidden energy patterns that keep you bankrupt. Stop. Before scrolling to another page, answer this question honestly. Have you ever made money just to see it disappear in a few days? Have you had the perfect opportunity, but it evaporated at the last moment? Have you ever worked incredibly hard, did everything right, and yet ended up exactly where you started financially? If you are agreeing with the head, then what I am about to reveal will fundamentally change your relationship with money forever. Because here's what no one tells you. The reason why money keeps slipping through your fingers has nothing to do with your work ethic, your intelligence, your strategies, or even your mindset. The real culprit is invisible, operating below his conscience, sabotaging his wealth every day. It's called quantum locks of money, and if you don't eliminate them, you're going to be out of money no matter what you do. Listen carefully, because this explains everything. At this very moment, there are hidden energetic patterns, rooted in your subconscious and nervous system, that are actively repelling the money of your life. It's not just about negative thoughts that you can get rid of with positive thinking. Are patterns of interference at the quantum level, like static interrupting a radio signal, that prevent you from receiving the abundance that is constantly manifesting in your direction. You can't see these blocks. You can't hear them. But you experience its effects every day. Money coming out as fast as it comes in, opportunities dissipating before they work out, an inexplicable financial self-sabotage that you seem unable to control. Here's the truth that will set you free. If money continues to escape, it is not a problem of mentality, it is frequency interference. Your conscious mind may desperately desire wealth. You can visualize, affirm, and work until exhaustion. But if your subconscious is emitting interference patterns, these hidden blocks will nullify your conscious intentions 100% of the time. It's like trying to listen to your favorite music while someone operates a machine that creates a deafening static right next to you. The music is playing perfectly, but you can't hear it because of interference. Money is flowing in your direction constantly from the quantum field, but its blockages are creating interference that prevents you from receiving it. That's why you see people who seem to do less than you, know less than you, work less than you, and yet thrive while you struggle to survive. It's not that they're luckier or more talented. It's just that they don't carry the quantum locks you do. Their frequency is clear, so money flows to them naturally. Your frequency gets jammed, so the money is blocked before it gets to you. That's not fair, but it's physical. The quantum field responds to frequency, not effort. And frequency interference creates consistent, predictable patterns of financial constraint. Quantum financial locks are different from common limiting beliefs. You can identify a limiting belief with a little reflection: it's hard to make money, or I'm terrible at finances. You can work with them consciously. But quantum locks operate on a much deeper level. In your energy field, your nervous system, your cellular memory. They were installed through trauma, early childhood conditioning, or even inherited from their ancestral lineage. They operate completely automatically, sabotaging your wealth without your knowledge or conscious participation. You do not choose to activate them. You don't even know they are there. You just experience the devastating effects. Chronic financial difficulties despite your best efforts. These blocks function as energy walls or shuffled circuits in your quantum field. Imagine your energy field as a sophisticated antenna designed to receive abundance frequencies. Quantum locks are like corrosion on this antenna, broken components, short circuits. The abundance signal is being transmitted clearly, but your receiver can't pick it up properly because of blockages. You can pick up weak and intermittent signals, a little money here and there, but never the clear and strong reception that creates lasting wealth. And that's what makes it so frustrating. You have no idea that blocks exist. You just know that somehow, no matter what you try, the money doesn't stick. The invisible nature of quantum blocks is what makes them so dangerous and persistent. You can't fight what you don't see. You attribute your financial difficulties to external factors: the economy, your boss, bad luck, the timing. You blame yourself for not working hard enough, not being smart enough, not having the right contacts. But the real problem is internal and energetic. You carry interference patterns that generate these external circumstances from the inside out. Your blockages are creating the very reality you fight against. And until you identify and remove these locks at the quantum level, where they really exist, nothing will change permanently. Here's what is revolutionary. Once you identify your specific quantum blocks related to prosperity and energetically eliminate them, the money stops escaping. The interference dissolves. The static disappears. The frequency becomes pure. And abundance can finally flow to you and stay with you consistently. It's not about working harder or being more positive. It is about removing the energetic obstructions that have blocked your natural flow of wealth. Remove the dam and the river flows. Eliminate blockages and money flows. It's that simple. There are 5 major quantum blocks that sabotage the wealth of most people, often working together to create complex interference patterns. These 5 blocks are: the indignity block, which makes you reject money because you don't believe you deserve it; the security block, which makes your nervous system perceive wealth as dangerous and compel you to eliminate it; the identity block, that makes prosperity seem like a betrayal of your tribe and generates guilt when you reach it; the ancestral blockade, which is the inherited trauma and poverty mentality transmitted by your family lineage; and the punishment blockade, that makes you unconsciously create financial suffering as penance for a real or imaginary guilt. Most people carry at least 2 or 3 of these locks simultaneously, which is why their financial difficulties seem so overwhelming and unsolvable. They are not dealing with a simple problem. They are dealing with multiple overlapping interference patterns that reinforce each other, creating a seemingly impassable barrier between them and abundance. This is why superficial solutions never generate lasting changes. You eliminate a pattern through the work of mentality, but another block sabotages from a different angle. You progress through strategy, but the blocks create self-sabotage that undermines your efforts. It's like trying to fill a bucket with 5 holes. The water keeps coming out, no matter how much you put in. But here is your hope. By working at the quantum level, addressing the energetic root of each block, you can eliminate multiple patterns simultaneously and experience drastic and rapid changes in your financial reality. This is not a gradual improvement over the years. When quantum locks are removed, interference patterns can dissolve almost instantly, and the money that was trying to get to you suddenly does. Opportunities that seemed to dissipate suddenly materialize. Patterns of self-sabotage that seemed unbreakable simply cease. This is the power of cleansing on a quantum level. You are not changing superficial behaviors, you are removing the energetic cause of these behaviors. The 5 quantum money blocks revealed. Now, let's identify each of the 5 quantum blocks of money in precise detail so you can recognize which ones are operating in your life at this time, sabotaging your wealth in the shadows. When reading about each block, pay close attention to your body's response. Your body knows what blockages you carry, even when your mind does not. You may feel tension, discomfort, emotion, or a sense of recognition. Trust these signals, they are showing their blockages. The indignity block is the most common and perhaps the most destructive of all quantum blocks related to prosperity. This block is coded with a central program: I do not deserve abundance. It was installed during childhood through experiences in which you learned that it was not valuable, important, or worthy of good things. Perhaps you have been constantly criticized and learned that it was never good enough. Perhaps your needs have been ignored and you've learned that it doesn't matter. Maybe love was conditional on performance and you learned that its intrinsic value was questionable. Perhaps you have been compared unfavorably to your brothers and learned that you were inferior. Whatever the specific circumstances, you have absorbed a deep subconscious belief that fundamentally, in your essence, you do not deserve prosperity. This blockage not only creates negative thoughts, it generates an energetic repulsion to wealth. It is like having a force field around you that actively drives away money. When the abundance tries to approach, this block activates automatically and repels it, because receiving it would create an unbearable cognitive dissonance. Your subconscious cannot simultaneously sustain, I don't deserve this, and I'm getting this. The contradiction is too painful. Then the blockage resolves the contradiction by ensuring that you do not receive, or if you receive, get rid quickly of what has come to return to the familiar state of not having. The indignity block sabotages through multiple mechanisms. You may chronically underestimate the value of your services, charging much less than it's worth because asking for what you deserve seems wrong in some way. You can offer your work for free compulsively, unable to receive payment without guilt. You can sabotage opportunities just before they come to fruition because success would force you to endure the discomfort of having something that you believe you don't deserve. You can create financial crises that drain all the money you accumulate. You can choose relationships with people who take advantage of you financially. All these patterns have the same root, the quantum lock that conveys the sense of indignity to your energy field. The security lock operates with a completely different mechanics. This block was installed when your nervous system learned to associate wealth with danger. Maybe you grew up watching rich people being criticized, attacked, isolated, or defamed. Perhaps someone in your family has earned money and then lost everything, and your childish mind has concluded that having money leads to devastating losses. You may have absorbed cultural or religious messages that portray wealth as morally corrupt or spiritually dangerous. You may have witnessed rich people being betrayed, sued, or persecuted. Whatever the learning experience, your nervous system has created an association. Money equals threat. Now, whenever you start to accumulate wealth, this block activates your survival system. Your body literally goes into a state of alertness. Anxiety increases, your heart races, your stomach spins, you feel inexplicably uncomfortable. You are not consciously thinking, money is dangerous. Your nervous system is signaling danger at a level below consciousness. And to relieve this physiological discomfort, you unconsciously eliminate the perceived threat by throwing away money. You spend impulsively. You make bad investment decisions. You donate money. You create circumstances that drain your resources. You are not choosing this consciously. Your nervous system is protecting you from what it perceives as mortal danger. The lock keeps you safe by keeping you out of money. Identity blocking is rooted in the feeling of belonging to a group and who you believe you are fundamentally. This block conveys the message, people like me don't have money. He is anchored in his family identity, in his cultural origin, in his socio-economic situation, and in his group of friends. You have learned by osmosis that your people face financial difficulties. This is how things are for people like us. Perhaps your whole family has always been of the working class. Perhaps your culture has stories of poverty and hardship as central markers of identity. Maybe your group of friends come together around financial complaints. Whatever the origin, you internalized that having money would mean no longer being one of us. This blockade generates a devastating self-sabotage because maintaining the sense of belonging to the group seems more crucial for survival than individual prosperity. On a primitive level, being rejected by your group historically meant death. You couldn't survive alone. So when you start to succeed financially beyond the level of your group, this block activates an intense fear of rejection and loss of belonging. You hear inner voices. Who do you think you are? You are thinking too much of yourself. You are abandoning your roots. Do you think you're better than us now? These are not just thoughts. It is the lock activating to pull you back into your group's financial level. To maintain identity and sense of belonging, you unconsciously sabotage your success and return to the familiar financial struggle. You remain without money for loyalty and love to your people. The ancestral block is an inherited interference, energy patterns transmitted by your family lineage that are not even yours, but operate in your energy field as if they were. The unresolved traumas of your ancestors, the mentality of poverty, the struggles for survival and financial wounds are encoded in what we could call energetic DNA and are transmitted to you. You carry the trauma of your great-grandmother's hunger. You carry your grandfather's financial devastation during the Great Depression. You carry your parents' programming of scarcity, resulting from childhood poverty. These patterns do not concern your life or your experiences. They are unhealed wounds of previous generations that manifest themselves through you. You can catch yourself inexplicably repeating the same financial patterns that your parents lived, even desperately wishing for different results. This is the ancestral block in action. You may feel financial anxiety that does not fit your real circumstances. Objectively, you are fine, but still feel terrified. This is the ancestral fear activating. You may have beliefs about money that make no logical sense for your life, but were absolutely true for the lives of your ancestors. The challenge with this block is to recognize that you are carrying burdens that were never yours. You have inherited them, and they are creating interference in your energy field, but actually it is not your concern. Eliminating this block requires recognizing and releasing patterns of your lineage. The punishment block stems from guilt and the unconscious belief that you deserve to suffer financially as atonement for something. You may have made significant financial mistakes in the past, bad investments, bankruptcies, financial losses to others, and never forgave yourself. Perhaps you bear guilt for something completely unrelated to money, but are punishing yourself financially. Perhaps you have absorbed a religious or cultural program that considers suffering noble, necessary, or purifying. Perhaps you have hurt someone and unconsciously believe that you need to pay penance. This block creates a pattern in which you punish yourself through financial difficulties. Whenever you start to prosper, this block says, you don't have the right to be happy. You haven't suffered enough. You need to pay. And creates circumstances that comply with this directive of punishment. You make inexplicably terrible financial decisions that you immediately regret. You attract people who take advantage of you financially. You experience repeated financial losses that seem almost intentional. You may even unconsciously choose financial suffering over financial tranquility because suffering seems to be what you deserve. This is not bad luck, it's self-enforcement operating on a quantum level. Blocking will continue to generate punishment scenarios until the underlying guilt is identified, processed, and released. These 5 blocks often work together, creating complex patterns of interference. You may have the indignity telling you that you do not deserve money, besides the security making wealth seem dangerous, reinforced by the identity saying that people like you do not prosper in any way, aggravated by ancestral patterns of poverty mentality, with punishment ensuring that you suffer for past mistakes. These overlapping blockages create such a powerful interference that financial hardship seems absolutely inevitable and immutable. But they are not inevitable. They are just energetic patterns. And every pattern can be interrupted, eliminated, and released. How quantum locks create financial sabotage. Now, we're going to reveal exactly how these quantum financial locks operate on your day-to-day, creating consistent and predictable financial sabotage. Understanding these mechanisms is crucial, as the blockages do not announce themselves. They operate through patterns that appear to be normal behaviors or external circumstances. But these patterns are not random and not just bad luck. They are quantum interferences that create specific, repetitive cycles of limitation. Once you see the patterns clearly, you can interrupt them. The most common pattern of sabotage is what I call invisible ceiling. This happens when you can make money up to a certain level, say $50,000, $75,000 or whatever your limit is, but every time you get past that limit, something happens to knock you down. You receive an increase in work, then the engine of your car breaks down and the repair costs exactly the amount of the increase. You close a big deal, then you get sick and can't work for a month. You finally manage to save $5,000, then comes an unexpected expense that costs exactly $5,000. You increase your income, then your working hours are reduced or you lose a client. This pattern is not a coincidence, and it is not the universe conspiring against you. It is your quantum locks imposing a subconscious limit on the amount of wealth you can have. This ceiling was established by the highest level of wealth you witnessed and normalized in childhood. If your parents never earned more than $60,000 a year, your subconscious interprets anything above that as unknown territory, which amounts to danger. Your blockages see crossing that line as a threat to your identity and security, so they create circumstances, through your decisions, your actions, your energy, that return you to the familiar zone. You are being kept in your comfort zone, only the comfort zone is actually deeply uncomfortable. It's just familiar. Another devastating mechanism is the dissolution of opportunities. You attract possibilities that seem incredibly promising. You get excited. You can see that this will finally be your big opportunity. But then, mysteriously, inexplicably, the opportunity fades away well before materializing into real money. The investor who was clearly interested suddenly gives up without a clear explanation. A job offer that seemed certain is rescinded. The client who accepted with enthusiasm simply disappears. The commercial partnership that was about to be launched falls apart in the midst of conflicts. The contract that was in the final stage is cancelled. Seen from the outside, these blocks may seem unlucky, or simply the lack of transparency of other people. But energetically, your quantum locks create interferences that actively dissolve opportunities before they can bring you prosperity. It works like this: your conscious desire attracts opportunity, your longing creates the initial connection. But then your subconscious blocks begin to emit interferences. These interferences subtly affect your posture, what you say, the energy you transmit, and the decisions you make. You may seem desperate instead of confident. You can sabotage your business with poor communication. You can energetically push away the opportunity while consciously trying to attract it. The other person notices something strange and moves away, not even knowing why. Their blockages have successfully prevented the opportunity from materializing. This creates the frustrating pattern of near success that never manifests itself in real abundance. Compulsive leakage is another primary mechanism of sabotage. Money enters, sometimes in significant amounts, but immediately leaves, whether through expenses, donations, losses, or receipt of values. You seem unable to hold money, no matter how much it comes in. If you earn an extra $1,000 this month, you somehow spend an extra $1,000. If you receive a bonus, it disappears in a few days. You can rationalize the expenses: I deserve to give myself a gift, I needed these things, or I was being generous. But this pattern reveals an unconscious compulsion, not a conscious choice. This mechanism is usually driven by the indignity block or the security block. If you do not believe that you deserve wealth, your subconscious will not tolerate it. Cognitive dissonance is too painful. Then he forces him to get rid of the money to return to the familiar state of owning nothing. If wealth seems dangerous, your nervous system creates an urgency to eliminate the perceived threat. Spending or giving may even feel good at the moment, because it relieves the underlying discomfort of having money when your blocks say you shouldn't. But you stay exactly where you started financially, wondering why you can never progress despite the inflow of money. The decision paralysis is how blockages sabotage critical moments of decision. When important financial decisions arise, investing in that program, what business opportunity to seek, how to price your services, whether or not to ask for that increase, the blocks create overwhelming confusion, anxiety, and indecision. You think too compulsively. Question every detail. Suffer and analyze until you are completely paralyzed. Often, you don't make any decision and miss the opportunity altogether, or make a decision based on fear that leads to bad results. This paralysis is not a lack of information or intelligence. They are blocks that create interference and cloud your clarity. Your intuition knows what to do. There is a clear signal trying to reach you. But the blocks block this signal with static. What if it doesn't work? And if you fail? And if people judge you? What if you can't handle it? What if you lose everything? When you finally manage to overcome the interference and make a decision, the opportunity has passed or the moment is gone. Or you choose for fear rather than wisdom, which leads to results that confirm the predictions of your blocks, reinforcing the pattern. The trust collapse is a mechanism in which blockages attack your self-esteem exactly at the moment when you need to claim your value. You are about to set your prices, negotiate a salary, submit a proposal, or ask for what you are worth, and suddenly you are flooded with thoughts of inadequacy. Who am I to charge so much? I don't have that much experience. They'll never agree with it. I'm not worth what they're paying me. Other people are much better than me. This collapse is not the objective reality. It is its blockages activating precisely when claiming its value would lead to an increase in wealth. The locks know that if you claim your full value with confidence, the money will come to you. Then, they destroy your confidence at the critical moment, causing you to devalue yourself drastically, accept less than you deserve, or sabotage trading altogether. Then, You come out of the situation feeling disappointed and reinforcing the belief that it has no value, which strengthens the block for the next time. It is a devastating cycle that feeds itself. Relationship sabotage is the way blocks use other people as agents of sabotage. You attract financially irresponsible romantic partners who drain your resources through constant crises or dependency. You hire staff members who steal from you or manage the money in a catastrophic way. You have friends who borrow money and never pay. You enter into business partnerships with people who take financial advantage of you or create situations in which you lose money. On the surface, this seems like bad judgment in choosing people. But energetically, their blocks attract people who will perpetuate the pattern of sabotage. Your unconscious is emitting a frequency that says, "I need to stay out of money," and people who help keep you in this situation are attracted by this frequency like moths by the flame. They may not have conscious malicious intentions, they are just responding to your energetic request for sabotage. Your blocks are using other people to do the job of keeping you financially limited. Until you eliminate these blocks, you will continue to attract the same type of person, only with different appearances. These sabotage mechanisms operate automatically, repeatedly and consistently until the underlying blockages are eliminated at the quantum level. You cannot overcome them with willpower, they are stronger than your conscious control. You can't work harder than them, they will sabotage your results regardless of your effort. You can't circumvent them with strategies, they will find new ways to block your progress. The only solution is to identify which specific blockages you carry and eliminate them at the energy level where they really exist. Once the blockages are removed, the sabotage patterns simply stop working. The roof opens. Opportunities come to fruition. Money remains. Decisions become clear. Trust is maintained. Relationships are strengthened rather than worn out. The interference disappears and the natural flow is resumed. Releasing quantum money blocks. The protocol. Now we come to the most important part. The protocol to identify and eliminate your quantum blocks related to prosperity. This is a deep work that requires total honesty, courage, and constant practice. But the results are absolutely transformative. By eliminating the blockages at the quantum level, you remove the interference that has been sabotaging your wealth for years or even decades, and abundance can finally flow naturally and remain with you consistently. Here is the elimination process step by step. The first step is identification through somatic consciousness. Your body holds the map of your blockages, even when your mind is not aware that they exist. Sit in a quiet place where you won't be interrupted. Close your eyes and focus all your attention on your body. Now, think about having significant wealth. Not just comfortable, but truly abundant. Imagine yourself financially rich. While maintaining this image and feeling, examine your entire body for sensations. Where do tension, discomfort, stiffness, or resistance arise? The feeling of tightness in the chest usually indicates the block of indignity. Your heart is literally closing to receive. Nausea or discomfort in the stomach usually signals safety lock. Your gut is saying, danger. The constriction in the throat points to the identity block. You cannot express your truth or claim your prosperity. A sense of weight and density throughout the body suggests ancestral block. You are carrying an inherited weight. A sharp pain anywhere can indicate the punishment block. Your body is expressing self-imposed suffering. Do not analyze or judge what you find. Simply observe, recognize, and breathe in these areas. Your body is showing exactly where the blockages reside in your energy system. The second step is to explore the origin of each block you have identified. Once you know which locks you carry, ask yourself, where did this lock come from? What was happening in my life when this standard was installed? Allow memories, images, feelings, or simply intuition to arise without forcing anything. You may remember a specific traumatic incident. You may feel an overall pattern from childhood. You may simply know that you have absorbed it from your family without having a specific memory. Sometimes you will have clear information, sometimes not. Anyway, it's okay, you don't need to know the exact origin story to remove a blockage. although understanding the source often helps to recognize that it was installed by circumstances and injured people, not by the truth. That child who learned he was unworthy was not getting the objective truth, was getting distorted messages from people traumatized in a traumatic situation. Just this recognition already begins to weaken the power of blocking, because you realize that it is based on lies that you have internalized, not in fact about who you really are. The third step is conscious recognition and precise naming. Bring each block to your consciousness, specifically naming it out loud. For example, I carry the indignity block. He was installed in me when I was young, through experiences of criticism, comparison, and conditional love. I learned that I had no value as I was. This blockade has sabotaged my prosperity for years, causing me to reject money, cover less than I value, and create circumstances in which I lose what I gain because I do not believe that I deserve to have abundance. Now I see that pattern clearly. Verbalizing your blocks brings unconscious patterns to consciousness, which immediately begins to disrupt its automatic functioning. The blocks operate more strongly in the shadows, running programs you can't see. Naming them, verbalizing them, recognizing them brings them to light. Light dissolves shadows. Consciousness dissolves unconscious patterns. This step may seem uncomfortable or emotional. This is normal and actually a good sign that you are touching on something real and meaningful. The fourth step is energy release through breathing and visualization. Here, you actively clean the blockage of your energy field and nervous system. Place one or both hands on the part of your body where you felt the blockage during the first step. Breathe slowly and deeply. Inhale by counting to 4, hold for 4, exhale by counting to 6 and hold for 2. As you breathe, visualize the blockage as a dense, dark, and heavy energy lodged in this area of your body. At each exhalation, imagine that dense energy releasing itself, disintegrating and flowing out of your body, by your hands, by your breath, dissolving in the air and being absorbed into the earth. In performing this physical liberation, verbalize your intention. I release this blockage now. It never represented the truth about who I am. It has been installed by circumstances that have passed. I no longer need it. It is not for me to carry it anymore. I let it go completely. I am free. Continue breathing and viewing until you feel a sharp change. You may feel lighter, more spacious, with emotional release or physical sensations such as warmth, tingling, or energy movement. This may take 2 minutes or 20 minutes. Trust your body to show you when the release is complete in this session. Some deep blocks need several cleaning sessions to dissolve completely. This is normal. Just commit to return to practice. The fifth step is the installation of a new strengthening programming. After removing a lock, you must install a new support schedule in that freed space, or the old pattern will try to reset itself. For each block you've removed, create a new empowering statement and repeat it with genuine feeling and conviction. For the block of unworthiness, I am inherently deserving, of abundance. I deserve prosperity simply by existing. I receive wealth with ease and joy. My worth is not conquered, it is inherent. To the security block, being rich is completely safe for me. Money sustains my well-being and my freedom. I am safe and secure in my abundance. Prosperity makes my life better in every way. For the identity block, I can be prosperous and still belong. My success benefits my family and community. I honor my roots as I create new possibilities. My wealth allows me to give more and be more to those I love. For the ancestral block, I free all patterns that do not belong to me. I heal this lineage. Abundance flows freely through me, breaking old cycles and creating new patterns of prosperity for future generations. To the punishment block, I forgive myself completely and unconditionally. I deserve joy, tranquility, and prosperity. I am free from all guilt and self-punishment. I choose abundance without apology. Repeat your new programming aloud several times a day, with feeling and absolute conviction, until it begins to come true in your body. This is not a false statement, it is to install truth where lies once existed. The sixth step is the disruption of behavioral patterns. Blockages are manifested through automatic behaviors. After energetically clearing a block, you must consciously interrupt the behavioral patterns it created, or those patterns will try to bring back the block. If your blockage usually manifests itself through compulsive spending, create a pause protocol. Before any purchase above a certain amount, wait 24 hours and ask yourself, is this aligned with abundance or is it a relief from sabotage? If your block usually manifests itself as below market prices, practice setting higher prices even when anxiety yells at you. Feel the discomfort and do it anyway. If your block causes decision paralysis, set deadlines for your decisions and respect them, making choices even when you do not feel 100% safe. If your blockage attracts relationships that drain your finances, practice firm limits and choose people who contribute to your prosperity. These changes in behavior may seem uncomfortable at first, because you will be acting contrary to years of conditioning. But every time you interrupt an old pattern and choose a new behavior, you weaken the block and strengthen your new programming. Discomfort is temporary. Freedom is permanent. The seventh step is vigilant monitoring and rapid removal of blockages. Blocks may try to reactivate themselves, especially under stress, in situations that trigger triggers or during a significant ascent. Monitor your money-related thoughts, emotions, and behaviors on a daily basis. When you notice that old patterns are trying to resurface, the familiar self-criticism insinuating, the urge to get rid of money, the thoughts that dissipate opportunities, recognize this immediately as a block reactivation. Do not judge yourself or enter the spiral of, "I thought I had solved this." Simply do a quick cleanup immediately. Take deep breaths 3 times, recognize the pattern, "I notice the indignity block trying to activate." Consciously release it, "I release this pattern again," and re-establish your new schedule, "I am deserving, of abundance." It takes 60 seconds. Do this whenever you notice old patterns. Over time, with constant monitoring and immediate cleaning, the locks lose all their power. They may whisper occasionally, but no longer control their decisions or create their reality. This 7-step protocol is not a weekend exercise. Deep quantum locks, especially those you carry for decades, require consistent practice over weeks or months to dissolve completely. But each cleaning session weakens the pattern and strengthens your freedom. Think of it as renovating a house. You may need to remove several layers of old paint, repair underlying damage, and apply several coats of new paint before the transformation is complete. Be patient, but persistent. The cleaning work you are doing is the most valuable work you can do for your financial future, because it removes the invisible interference that no strategy, effort, or positive thinking can overcome. Eliminate blockages and everything else, opportunities, money, success, abundance, will flow naturally, effortlessly. Living without blockages, your new financial reality. Now, let's vividly describe what your life will be like when you have successfully eliminated your quantum financial blockages, because understanding destiny gives you motivation and direction for the journey. When the blockages are removed, transformation is not just about having more money. It's about fundamentally changing your experience of reality. The interference disappears, the static dissipates, and you can finally receive and keep the wealth that has always been trying to reach you. This is what becomes possible when you live free of blockages. The first and deepest change is complete inner peace in relation to money. When the blockages are active, there is a constant and latent anxiety about finances, a mild panic that never disappears completely, even in good times. Your nervous system is on constant alert about money. You wake up thinking about it with fright. You check your bank account with fear. You make decisions with anxiety. You go to sleep worried. When the blocks are eliminated, this chronic anxiety simply ceases. Not because you suddenly have millions in the bank, but because the energy interference that created fear has been removed. You think about money calmly, neutrality, sometimes even with a pleasant expectation. You check your account without that peak of fright, just with conscious curiosity. You make financial decisions without overwhelming stress, only with clarity and thoughtfulness. This inner peace is profound and transformative. People who have eliminated financial blockages often report that this change alone, the absence of constant financial anxiety, is worth more than any amount of money, because it transforms the quality of each day. The money starts to flow more consistently and stays with you. Instead of the cycle of abundance and scarcity, in which money comes and goes immediately, you experience a more stable and predictable flow. The income becomes more regular. The money that comes in accumulates instead of evaporating. The unexpected and mysterious expenses that always arise soon after a financial progress stop happening. You can build a financial reserve without it being immediately drained. You can invest. You can plan for the future because money is no longer constantly slipping through your fingers. It is not necessarily to earn millions overnight, although income often increases significantly, but to eliminate the blockages that repelled and dissolved money. Natural accumulation can finally happen. Leaks in your financial reservoir are sealed, so what comes in actually remains. Opportunities complete their cycle instead of dissipating at the last moment. When blocks are removed, the possibilities you seek actually materialize in results. The client not only accepts, but remains, pays, and indicates others. The job offer is made and works. The investment pays off as expected, or even better. The business opportunity develops fully rather than collapsing. The mysterious last-minute failures and inexplicable dissolutions of opportunities that used to torment you simply stop happening. This is because the quantum interference that was disrupting opportunities has been removed. Opportunities are no longer sabotaged by their unconscious blocks that emit conflicting signals. They can complete their natural progression, from possibility to manifestation, and finally to real money in your account. The success that always seemed unattainable suddenly becomes achievable and sustainable. Its ability to claim its value and set appropriate prices is transformed completely. Without the inadequacy block undermining your confidence, you can clearly see your real value and price your services accordingly. You can set values that reflect your true worth without apologizing or feeling guilty. You can negotiate salaries and fees that match your contribution without that voice shouting, "Who do you think you are?" You can receive payments and compliments without dodging, minimizing, or feeling uncomfortable. This change alone often leads to dramatic increases in income, sometimes doubling or tripling, not because you are working harder or offering more, but because you are finally recognizing its value without blockages distorting your self-image. Many people find that they were charging 50% to 70% less simply because these blocks convinced them that they had no value. Eliminate these blockages, recognize their value, and see your income reflect its real value for the first time. Decision-making becomes clear, confident, and fast. The paralysis and overwhelming confusion created by blockages disappears completely when they are removed. You know what to do. You trust your intuition. You feel that you are making the right choice. You make decisions quickly, without the anxiety of thinking too much and brooding doubts. And surprisingly, your decisions are better. You choose opportunities that work. You avoid traps in which you would have fallen before. You invest wisely. You say yes to possibilities aligned with your goals and not misaligned, without guilt or fear.